People from all over the world are reporting having seen two suns in the sky with the naked eye. What is this mysterious phenomenon? Could it be a dwarf star? Or Zecharia Sitchin's translation of ancient Sumerian texts, which tell a story of a planet called Nibiru? If this were true, what would this mean to humanity? Will Nibiru remain a part of our solar system? What we are witnessing today may not occur for another 3,600 years.
According to the Binary Research Institute, there are many common misconceptions about binary star systems. One of the most common myths is that binary star systems are a cosmic anomaly, and that single star systems are the most prevalent, when in fact, the opposite is true. 50 years ago, binary stars were considered a rarity. Now, most of the stars in our galaxy are known to be paired with a companion or multiple partners. Just because we cannot see it doesn't mean that it does not exist. We now know that many stars cannot be seen, including black holes, neutron stars, and many brown dwarfs. Furthermore, long-cycle binary systems, those with orbital periods of thousands or tens of thousands of years, may be quite difficult to detect because of the very long observation period required.
Evidence seems to suggest that our sun may be in a binary or complex gravitational relationship with one of several nearby visible stars.
The Binary Research Institute further states that for nearby sun-like stars, more than 55% are confirmed to be in double, triple, or quadruple relationships. Total estimates are higher, with NASA's website reporting that up to 80% of all stars are indeed in multiple star relationships. Therefore, it should be expected that our sun might be a part of a binary or multiple star system.
As many of my subscribers are aware, I take photos of the sun every day from the same spot at the same time with the same camera. These two images were taken only 1 month apart from one another, and one can already see the difference in the sun's size and/or brightness. The photo on the left, the before picture, clearly shows a second sun at the 11 o'clock position of our main sun. I was able to capture the second sun several times during the month of November 2012. The photo on the right, the after picture, taken in December, shows the sun taking up most of the screen space, indicating that the sun is either closer or brighter. In these November clips, you can see that the camera lens flare moves along with the camera, while the object remains stationary with the sun. The following information was sent to me via private message in a PDF document. Hereafter, the document. I later discovered that this valuable information can be downloaded and is now public information. The document, by an unknown author, was last updated in June 2011 and relies heavily on the now non-existent Comet Elenin as a guide for locating Nibiru. It is my belief that since Comet Elenin disintegrated in 2011, the evidence for the existence of Nibiru within the document has fallen by the wayside. Researchers who were initially interested in this document have created a fallacy of hasty generalization that just because Elenin disintegrated, then Nibiru must have as well. This is bad logic. Let us get to the evidence. We see that Nibiru's black magnetic shell represents a protective region with such dense magnetism that it permits no light, visible or invisible, to pass through it, except for the intense radiation from the core. The core, at the center of which resides within Nibiru itself, appears to be a self-contained area that, relative to the absolute coldness of the shell, must be very hot or radioactive, meaning high luminous or light activity. Indeed, it is so radioactive that it is emitting very powerful radiation beams or gamma ray bursts from both poles, which are acting as relief valves to eject any excess radiation being generated within the core. Typically, only some of the universe's most powerful entities or events detected by modern science, such as supernovas, neutron stars, pulsars, quasars, black stars, and even entire galaxies, are known to emit gamma ray bursts. Nibiru's GRBs are still minuscule in comparison with those of these homogeneous stellar objects, but the fact that it emits them at all is extraordinary. These illustrations of Nibiru's size from the document will assist us in determining whether the object currently near the Sun is a viable candidate for the categorization as Nibiru.
These three images will help me to determine whether or not this object here, which was recorded on December 30th, 2012, is indeed Planet X. The first picture is a Wikipedia photograph of size comparisons between the Sun and Jupiter. The second photograph is an infrared image taken on December 30th, 2012. The third image is a size comparison between Nibiru and Jupiter as determined by scientists. The first thing that I want to do is place the third image over the first image to where the two Jupiters are the exact same size. You see that? It's perfect. Okay, now what I want to do now is get the second image of the Sun to go over the first image to make sure that it's the right size. So it's still a little bit smaller. I'm going to go ahead and stretch it out a little bit more. Okay, it's about the same size. Okay, so now we can put this back here. So now we know that this is the size we're hoping to get from this picture. So now finally, let's get Nibiru and see if it's the same size as this object here. And the object in the background, the actual object next to the Sun, seems to be a little bit bigger than this Nibiru here.
According to the document, Nibiru Planet X is following in the exact path that Comet Elenin was traveling in, but that it is 2 years behind Elenin. Therefore, since Elenin was scheduled to pass in late 2011, then we can say that because of the Sun's gravitational pull, its passage may occur before late 2013. As listed earlier, Nibiru at perihelion is a bit less than half the distance between the Earth and the Sun. This means that at its closest point, the gas giant will be at midpoint between the Earth and the Sun. Let us begin with the planet Mercury. Mercury's magnetosphere is experiencing significant increases. Venus. The sudden brightening on Venus being observed is so astonishing that many people are questioning if it is actually our neighboring planet. The brightening may be due to Nibiru's magnetism entering Venus's magnetosphere and condensing into high-energy, high-frequency electricity, which in turn is generating a high level of radiance on the planet's atmosphere. Venus is also exhibiting a 2,500% increase in green glow. The equatorial region of the planet Venus shows evidence of massive electrical scarring, matching the patterns of spidery filaments seen in high-energy plasma discharge. Mars is showing a rapid appearance of clouds and ozone and 50% erosion of its ice features within a 12-month period. Jupiter's Taurus plasma is increasing, while its moon Io is exhibiting the same changes. There is a disappearance of white ovals on the planet Jupiter since 1997, and there is a recent increase in storms. Jupiter's moons, Io's ionosphere, is 1,000% higher, and there is a 200% increase in the density of Io's plasma torus. Europa is much brighter than scientists had expected, while Ganymede is 200% brighter. Saturn's plasma torus is 1,000% denser. There are now aurorae seen in Saturn's polar regions in recent years. Uranus was featureless in 1996 and now has huge storms since 1999. In 2004, Uranus was markedly brighter than it was in 1999. Neptune is 40% brighter in the near-infrared range, and Pluto is experiencing a 300% increase in atmospheric pressure.
Alright, we're going to look at Jupiter here really quick, and we're going to look at the difference between a couple different mounts and the way that Bradford's coming up with some of their images. And there's two different mounts that we use. We use an azimuthal mount and an equatorial mount. Right now we're looking at the azimuthal view, where everything is level and plane the way that it should. We look up here, and we get Jupiter up here. And this is what Jupiter would look like in the telescope right now. I'm going to take away the ground, and I'm going to remove the atmosphere. Let me add the planet labels here. Oh no, I'm going to take those off. And now I'm going to show you, I'm going to speed this up so it goes through a couple days, and I'm going to show you the way that it's going to wobble. Everything's going to go back and forth. Although this is field rotation, but no amount of field rotation is going to make the axis appear that it's changed or the poles have shifted. So now it's about to start flipping back. Speed this up just a little more. So now we can really see the teeter-totter effect. Now this is with the azimuthal view. Now let me go back current time. I'm going to go back to last night on the 4th. And we'll stop right about there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to back out again. Let me put the ground, the atmosphere. Jupiter's up there, right in the east. And now we're going to put it on equatorial. And that tilts everything. Markings, ecliptic. There we go. Yes, now that's our ecliptic. Now we're going to zoom back in. And remember, now we're in equatorial. Now this is last night. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to remove atmosphere, remove ground, and then I'm going to add the octave view, which is the telescopic view. And what that does is that's going to mirror the image. And now we have the star, we have Io, we have Europa, Ganymede, and we have Callisto. So when we're using the equatorial mount, you're going to get that classic view that you're used to seeing. You're used to seeing moons rotate around the planet horizontal, the bands on Jupiter and the rings of Saturn horizontal, and that's what you're used to seeing, because that's what you're always shown, whether it's mainstream astronomy or a movie, anything. This is how you see the planets and moons moving, and it's completely different from the azimuthal view, where you get a lot of the field rotation. That's where that comes into play and makes the planets appear to be wobbling back and forth because of the wobble of the Earth and the way that we spin on our axis. So this is what the equatorial mount looks like. And here's my problem, though, with the astronomers that are releasing pictures. If I could take this telescope, which is a 4-inch, 114mm scope, which I got for my son, and he can go out and take a picture of Jupiter that looks like this, and I could take out a bigger telescope, and I can go and take images of planets and the moon and planets, and you know, they come out just like this. I didn't take this one right here or this one. These are just some that I pulled up, but these are with a 10-inch scope. Now we have the mainstream astronomers here. They have high-tech equipment, and lately they're releasing images like this. They're all looking like they're overexposed. Are they trying to hide the pole shift that's going on in the planets? Because when you have overexposed images like this, it's impossible to make an evaluation about what's going on with that planet. We can't see anything, you know, and they have $1 million equipment compared to my backyard equipment. And these images that they're releasing are just very, very suspicious. That's about the best way I could put it, because you can obviously see, we can't tell what's going on with any of this. Jupiter just looks like a big blur. So if you're requesting just a normal pic of Jupiter because you want to see the bands and you want to be able to see where the poles are at and what stuff like that, or you want to see Saturn and the rings, and you're requesting pictures like those, and they send you pictures like these, and they're all overexposed where you can't see anything, to me that says cover up. That says that they're covering something up. They don't want you to see something right now, because there's something going on right now, and it's going to be noticeable if they give us what we want.
When Planet X passes through our solar system, it will carry a large trail of debris behind it. 2012 saw a record number of meteorites fall from the heavens, with widespread reports of multicolored full moon-sized fireballs worldwide. Andre Heath, of the Celestial Convergence, began keeping detailed records of every new meteorite fall recovered or reported by reliable sources.